What's up, stationaries? Solar Ash has some thrilling news this week, while the devs for Astrobot announced some wonderful news of their own. Jim Ryan is beaming about the potential of PC, and tonight we're wondering whether or not are all PS5 updates simply generic hardware upgrades, I should say, or are gamers just being a little too self-entitled about things? Get ready, because Crossroads is live right now. Hey there, this is Crossroads, PlayStation podcast for Boss Rush Games. I am LeRon Dawkins, and you know who it is. It's the Typo Queen, Nellie Lott, here with me tonight. And
drink your water.
And it's amazing to have you back. Oh my God.
Happy to be back.
Yeah. Austin has the night off, but alongside us are two of our favorite contributors from the Boss Rush Network. If you're a fan of Destiny, then you already know our first guest tonight. Welcome back to Crossroads, the vault-dwelling host of Tower Casuals, Mr. Josh Finney.
That's right. Don't forget it.
We cannot, because if we do forget it, you're going to remind us.
That's right.
And we can't forget the always enlightened and ever excited snacking machine of Nintendo Pow Block. Eddie Varnell is back in the house with us tonight. What's up, man?
Hello, my stationary supremes. Yes, I'm glad to be in the building again with you guys.
Welcome back. Well, actually, welcome back to both of you guys. Like, y'all are some really good fixtures here for Crossroads. We love having you here.
Thank you.
And and by the way, Josh, Nellie asked for you specifically tonight.
I'm honored.
I did.
Thank you.
But you know what, Josh? I just got to thinking though, like all the times you've been on the show, because this is your fourth time on Crossroads, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. All the times that we've had you on Crossroads, we never asked you about your PlayStation pedigree. So tell us about your PlayStation history for a second there, brother.
So my first PlayStation was actually a PSP. I never owned a PS1 or a PS2 growing up. I would go to friends' houses every weekend, though, to play everything from Crash Bandicoot to Metal Gear Solid 2. As a kid, didn't have a PS3 either. I was kind of in that weird, there's the beep of the PS5. I was in that weird in-between where I wasn't playing a whole lot of games. I was mainly an Xbox kid. Then PS4 came out. And as soon as I played The Last of Us the weekend it came out on PS3, I borrowed a friend's PS3. He was like, you've got to play this. Played it, immediately decided I have to buy a PS4 when these things become available. Bought one. It was solely my exclusives machine, and now the very proud owner of a digital PS5. Long live Vita Island. I will forever be a stan of the Vita. It is, to this day, it is my favorite handheld and PlayStation console that has ever been made. And I just regret that mine had to die so that the Nintendo Switch could live.
Wow, the shame.
But nope, I sold a non-working Vita to a store that when they booted it up, it worked for about 5 seconds, which was long enough to get my money.
Now, long enough, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Long enough, but huge.
That good old GameStop hustle.
It was a different store. It was not actually GameStop. It was a store that gave me money for it. GameStop wanted to give me $10.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Oh, never mind.
But I made 75 off my Vita instead of 10. So pretty good investment there.
Yeah.
But huge fan of Naughty Dog and Santa Monica Studios, of course. But I think my favorite studio is actually Sucker Punch. I have very, very fond memories of Sly Cooper as a kid. And, of course, Ghost of Tsushima, which I played through earlier this year, is simply one of the best games I've ever played. So.
Awesome.
Along with PlayStation exclusives. # bring back Sean Layden.
This is Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast of Boss Rush Games. Every week we come together bringing you the latest news, rumors, games, and your own discussion in the world of PlayStation. Crossroads airs live on twitch.tv/X's803 Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't join us during the live show, Crossroads can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other podcast locations. If you like the show, please consider subscribing to the podcast and give us a follow on Twitch or or it doesn't matter. We take one or the other. Doesn't matter. You can also see the recap of tonight's show the following Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on youtube.com/Exodus803, my YouTube channel, or early Thursday mornings at youtube.com/Boss Rush Network. If you want to see previous episodes of our show, all the episodes of Crossroads can be found on our parent website, bossrush.net. Yes, the website URL has changed. It is now bossrush.net. Please keep it in mind when you go looking for us. But while you're at the website, don't forget to check out our growing family of podcast shows. And remember to share, rate, and review us wherever you check out our shows. And one final note. You can chat with us and keep the conversation going at PS_Crossroads on Twitter, where we hold it down more news, events, and topics. All right, everybody. What have we been playing this week? You know what? I pray you haven't just been playing Destiny, Josh.
I have not. I actually have been on a Destiny break for quite a while now. This season is the least amount I've played probably in the last 2 years. Not that it's not good. Narratively, it's been incredible, but the way they have it structured now, I'm really able to take the back half of the season off if I want to. So I kind of use that to dig through my backlog. I have been playing The Ascent over on Game Pass. The last couple of nights, been jumping in, doing some co-op in that game. Great indie game made by about 10 people. One of my favorite co-op experiences of the year, but the big game that I've been playing this summer, and mentioned this on my last appearance, Ghost of Tsushima, man, what an absolute masterpiece of a game. So glad I finally got to play it. Got a PS5. It was the first thing I bought for it. I bought that and Miles Morales today. I got my PS5. Man.
By the way, congratulations on the snag of the PS5. You're one of the family now.
I am one of the family. It only took 7 months of Wario 64 notifications to finally get one. I happened to be awake at 6 a.m. needing to get something to drink, and my phone beeped with a push notification from him, and I have never, ever logged into something so quickly on my phone. Was able to snag one. I would like a disc one, but I'll take the digital for now. It's just making me very cautious about what I buy. I'm still not totally on board with all digital consoles, but it's been wild. The DualSense is, I'm sure y'all have talked about this extensively. DualSense is an incredible controller.
Yes.
It is the only controller I think I've ever used that rivals the Xbox One gamepad. Truly rivals it. It is neck and neck with the Xbox controller for my favorite controller out there. Man, just I cannot say enough good things. I wish the UI was better. That's about my only major complaint about the console, I think. I think the UI is really janky compared to what I'm coming over to from Xbox and even from Game Pass through browser. I think the UI is a little funky. But man, everybody get a PS5. Get a PS5 when you're able to. It's incredible. It'll change your life. I've just been playing through the PS Plus collection all summer.
It keeps selling out. It keeps selling out, and
it's going to keep doing it. There's chip shortages. Both consoles are going to keep selling out through probably the rest of the year, if not into next year at this point. And despite all that, selling console of all time.
Yeah, Series X has been selling better for a while because they've been at Best Buy, so that people have been able to get one.
I really wish I could find a Series X. I decided to make the commitment and buy one.
It's I've seen I've seen internet fanboys try to throw the numbers around like, oh, it's only sold 6.5. Well, Microsoft diverted so many of the GPUs for Series X to go upgrade xCloud instead, so they were looking pretty long term here. And we think that's part of why Infinite looked so good and ran so good on literally everything last weekend, except for, ironically, if you had a 3080, it did not run good on there. There was something funky in the back end. But no, it's a great time. That's the other thing I've been playing. Halo Infinite Tech Test. I know it's a PlayStation show, but incredible. If you have any access to an Xbox, incredible game.
No. We don't razz anybody about their gaming of choice. We don't.
Incredible. I said this I said it before we started recording, but if they nail the story, which is the big concern with 343 at this point, they nail the story, you're going to hear Halo Infinite talked about in the same breath as Ratchet and Clank and Returnal for Game of the Year.
Oh man, yeah.
It's shaping up to be that kind of game. Like I had Corey asking me when I was 2 matches in, he goes, "So how is it?" And I was just like, "It feels like I'm going home. Like it feels like I'm 15 again. I've just convinced my parents to let me take the day off because Halo 3 just came out. I got them to let me go to the midnight release. We picked up a case of Game Fuel on the way home, and I am ready to sit down in my chair and just play through the entire campaign with 3 of my best friends in one sitting." That's how this game felt when I booted it up. I was playing with those same friends in our first match. Time we've played a Halo together, probably in about 10 years.
Wow.
So
And it's just magical.
So I'm gonna say that you are probably not gonna see yourself getting bored of that game anytime soon once it releases, right?
No, especially with how they're doing the battle passes. You can complete a battle pass from a past season at any time. You don't actually have to play during that season, which is just music to my ears. For somebody who suffers from FOMO in online games, if you don't play a lot of online games, fear of missing out. I have seasonal stuff that will expire in Destiny, for example, if I don't do it in the next 2 weeks. And that terrifies me because I'm always constantly going, crap, is there something I missed? Is there something that's going to be unavailable? And it's a tactic that MMOs like to use. I'm so thankful that Halo's not doing that. They started doing this with Master Chief Collection a couple of years ago. Play your battle pass anytime you want. Here's a past battle pass. You didn't get it then? Here you go. They're free battle passes. You can keep playing them. If you want to unlock stuff quicker, you can pay for it. Kismet.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see streams of it. I knew there was something going on, but I didn't know if it was streamable or not because like some games get embargoed when they're in like that type of early phase. But then again, a first party Microsoft title, I can't see them embargoing that because they want the buzz. Whether it's good or bad, like they want the buzz. It wasn't
embargoed. There was something funky on the back end. I know a couple people who were streaming it the night it released. There was something that happened on the back end, like they were streaming and they left a match early on accident, and so it like temporarily banned them for like an hour. But they confirmed that was something on their back end because there were so many people trying to access it at once. And they're like, this was one of our known bugs.
Oh, that was like that. The people that were getting that weird ass ban on an Amazon game. It wasn't like for some like using the word potato or something.
Yeah, in New World, you were getting banned if you for whatever reason.
Wow.
So to me, it's funny when things like that happen because it's clearly a coding misstep, and that's something we can all laugh about a little. Yeah. It's not like, Ed brought this up before we started recording. It's not an Anthem level disaster, right? Or like I'm getting locked out of doing story content in Avengers for 3 weeks.
Right.
Something that wasn't even my fault.
Yeah.
So what have you guys been playing
though? Nellie, go next.
Again, I have a disappointing answer. Just to say, I haven't really been playing like anything dramatic.
Simplicity is the key. Sometimes you just want to go to the basics. I'll just put it like that. So I get it. Not everybody wants to do heavy lifting 24/7 in gaming. I understand. Even though I don't know, like sometimes like managing those Sims can be like a freaking 24/7 job.
I mean, yeah, I've said it before, but I got a Backbone controller for my iPhone this week, and let me tell you, that thing's going to be exclusively used for Luminous and Tetris Effect Connected on Game Pass.
Hell yeah!
Because that is my happy place. People think of me as just like, oh, he's the shooter and RPG guy. Guys, I love puzzle games. Like a lot. I play so much Bejeweled on my phone. Like we've all got a bathroom game, okay? And there's no shame in admitting it. Wow. I've got 2 Bejeweled titles and Peggle on my phone, okay? I had Luminous until they discontinued it.
Which is a damn shame, by the way.
It's a damn shame because it's the best Luminous game they've done in the last 10 years since the Vita one.
Man, I swear, like Luminous was my shit when
it was a puzzle game ahead of its time, just like Meteos, and then they ran them into the ground.
Oh yeah, Meteos! Oh my god!
You don't own it on Switch, Josh?
Luminous?
Yeah.
I do own it on Switch. But here's the problem. It's the first game, though. I bought so I've made this joke before. I bought my PSP and my Vita both solely to play Luminous, and then discovered a ton of other games. I paid $200 for each of these things to play one fucking puzzle game. One. Because I like that much.
But don't feel bad because I bought, okay, not to really change the subject, but I bought games on my Xbox One before I even got them on my PlayStation 4. So I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't buy whole damn systems just to play like the most rinky-dink game. So
I would not talk about what I buy because everybody knows what I do. So
Ed's sitting over there playing his little his Mario Game and Watch right now.
You getting that Zelda one?
Yes, I am.
There we go. Nelly, do you have anything else besides The Sims?
Let's see. I've been playing Dying Light. I haven't that's another game I have for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So
I do too. Nelly, I had to jump in with you. We'll have to connect.
Yes. I played Watch Dogs Legion yet again. I need to get Bloodline because Aiden Pierce is in there along with Wrench, two of my favorite characters. Even though I always say I don't like Watch Dogs 1, but I like Aiden Pierce as a character. And I think that's it. Oh, and State of Decay 2.
Nice.
Okay, so you've been doing a few things. Okay,
she's all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't
Ed. Ed, what you been playing this week?
Okay, so we turned back to Hades. Got the last weapon that they offer. It was like a gun thing. Been enjoying that. Returned to Street Fighter Third Strike. Was playing as Ken in that game. I love Third Strike. I'm playing the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection for it. Played the Streets of Rage 4 DLC. So good. It's the Nightmare DLC. Oh, it's addictive.
It's $10, right?
It is. When I got it, they gave Switch owners, I think, a 10% discount because it got delayed. So it was like only $649 on Switch when it came out. So I got it for cheap. Still playing Skyward Sword HD, making my way through that. Started up Ease 9 on Switch, enjoying that. I literally just started. Been playing Monkey Barrels, the Great Ace Attorney for Switch. I love Phoenix Wright games.
I've been thinking about picking that up because I saw it at Best Buy the other day for $40. I'm like, I never played the original Phoenix Wright game, so I'm really debating. Like, I feel like I really want to play the Phoenix Wright games before I make the commitment.
Please jump on the Ace Attorney trilogy. Like, get your life with that game. They're good, but the writing is so funny you will fall out laughing. Just the naming convention alone is really good. Me and David will start. So it's a possibility everybody named it on here called Good Googly Game Design. And we're talking about a game design about Metroid. Where as our first game, where a new player to the Metroid series and a familiar person comes in and talk about the design of Metroid, of using modern logic on past games. So we're thinking of doing that for some
modern logic on past games. Okay.
Yes. For some Pablo content, you guys be able to see. Started up Dicey Dungeon for Series X. Also played The Descent. I ended up buying it. I've been waiting for that game ever since I seen it. I'm like so excited to play it. Really, really good. I just gotta play more of it. I just did the first mission and got into the town because Tomb Raider for Xbox has got the update, the 4K. Oh, that game looks so gorgeous. The Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I should say. Yes. Oh, that game looks gorgeous. I'm sucked in. I'm doing the new game plus. Because finally I beat it on PS4 a while back, and I beat it when it first came out, and I was like, these are the games. This is the stuff that I want on Switch. I know it's gonna look poor. I know it's not gonna be top quality. I don't care. I will buy this game on Switch if they want to. But the 4K does look good. The 60 frames does help. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous game on Series X, and hopefully PlayStation 5 get that edition too. It's just a beautiful game all around. Going through it, I can't wait till I get to the oil factory part. I won't spoil it, but I love just that cutscene. The cutscenes look really good too, for it. And then I am going to be starting up 13 Sentinels for PlayStation 4, and I did buy a PS5 controller, but I don't have a PS5 yet. I actually got the black controller that everybody was looking for. So I'm just waiting for to get the system. But that's pretty much what I've been playing and everything. Okay. I'm going to be finishing some stuff up and rewatching my Greed gameplay because we're doing that for Talk the Walk. So, yeah.
All right, cool. As far as I go, I'm in the middle of trying to finish Ratchet and Clank Ripped Apart, so Austin and I can get ready for our spoiler cast for that. I think Jack Bro's going to be on for that one as well, and we might see if we can pull Zoomy 2009 in for that one too. Yeah. But yeah, like I said last week, and I'll say it again. Like this is one of the best Ratchet and Clank games I've ever played. I haven't played every single Ratchet and Clank game, but I've played a good majority of them, and it's just something. The way the story weaves into the actual gameplay is just it's crazy how good it is. And it's like, man, like I feel like more developers need to take a page out of from Insomniac and actually make their games playable as the story goes, not so much, like do this story element, like make the story weave into the gameplay. And that's exactly what Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart has given me. And the characters are just so damn compelling. Like I need to know that we're going to see Rivet again after this game. I need to know that.
Us Nintendo fans at Power Block are jealous and excited for Ratchet and Clank 5. I mean, for Ratchet and Clank.
Maybe it'll come to PC. You guys might want to get ready for that.
We're jealous in the fact that we haven't got a new platforming game, but we're so happy that.
Wait, you just got Mario 3D. Wait, Mario 3D World was a port, wasn't it?
Yeah, we haven't got a new Mario game yet, but we're excited for this game, and we literally kind of gave Insomniac props because of Ratchet and Clank. Like, we was rooting for it to sell well, and happy that it did. It looks such a great, amazing game. We're glad that PlayStation 5 owners got this game.
Yeah.
I better feel this same energy for Psychonauts in a few weeks.
Oh, right.
That's all I'm going to say.
Can I tell
I've waited 16 years for Psychonauts 2.
I've been waiting ever since I finished the original version of Xbox. I've been waiting for this game.
My voice hadn't dropped yet when the first one came out. I've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
We hadn't been Order 66 yet. That's how long ago it came out.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Psychonauts was out before freaking Revenge of the Sith was.
Psychonauts
my God.
In, April 2005. I have been waiting 16 years. I've been waiting an additional couple of years since I got teased about it at the Game Awards. And thank God, Tim Schafer, you insane bastard. I'm finally getting this.
That journey to Psychonauts has been a wild one.
It has, man, I'm going to need to see a documentary on it when it's all said and done. Yeah. Because he says they almost had it done when the purchase happened. And Phil Spencer saw it for the first time, and the entire presentation was Tim Schafer going, well, this is what we wanted to do, but we ran out of money. We had to cut this because we had no money. We can't do boss fights because we have no cash. And we've already done a second round of funding. And Phil literally was like, Tim was like, Phil just looked at me and goes, how much money do you need to finish your game? And he told him, and he goes, done. Here you go. And bought out the crowdfunding platform that had supported them, to give them extra money, and also, thank God, this game looks as good as it does.
Is it in 2 more weeks? Is it the 24th or something?
It is. It's the 25th. It adding to an already extremely busy week for me. I have Destiny, I have Psychonauts, and I have the director's cuts of Tsushima coming out.
Oh yeah, August. Yeah,
days.
August 24th. Oh yeah. Like,
I'm going to wait reviews for the DLC. Let's see. I know they said 20 hours additional, but I'm going to wait.
Wait. You gonna wait for the reviews for the DLC for Tsushima?
Yeah, don't forget.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just read tonight's show notes. Just read tonight's show notes. You don't need anything else.
I already beat the game when it came out. That you guys can read on Buzz Fresh.
Well, yeah. Then all you gotta do is spend $10 additional. Then that's all you gotta do.
That's what I said. I'm gonna wait. I will wait.
Okay, so besides Ratchet and Clank, I actually dropped back into some Mass Effect just for a little bit, because I need something to break up I just need a different sci-fi spin and stuff like that. So I got back on Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I still haven't made that much progress, which is why y'all guys haven't seen a new stream on YouTube yet.
When you started saying M, I was about ready to just clown you, be like, "We know Monster Hunter, LeRon. We know."
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't played any Monster Hunter games in over a solid week. Actually, I honestly, I think I went
healing.
I think I went too hard on Monster Hunter Stories too, because I just jumped in that game and I was trying to find all them freaking monster dens and like getting all the monsters and all that stuff, and like all of a sudden, like, my buddy was like bugging me. He was like, "Hey, let's go get the Palamutes," because the Palamute DLC dropped 2 weekends ago, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Like, what do we have to do?" And I was like, "Oh, well, first I had to get in co-op," and I was like, "Co-op? I haven't even unlocked that. Oh, you have to be high rank too." High rank? Okay, I already don't like this game anymore.
That's it. I don't want to play.
How are you gonna put the most basic thing in Monster Hunter Rise and put it behind like a freaking difficulty wall? Like that's crazy.
LeRon's gonna take his controller and go home.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to play anymore.
As a matter of fact, I was so depressed I put Ring Fit Adventure in and played that for a good solid hour. I was mad.
Oh, wow.
I was mad. I love it. It's fun. Like, if my bedroom wasn't upstairs, I'd play it more. But I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna bring the Switch dock downstairs and hook it up to the TV downstairs, because then everybody else will be playing my damn Switch when I want to play Monster Hunter.
I need to go get that Amaterasu Palamute for Rise.
It's just a skin. It's not another dog.
I know that, but I love Okami so much.
I know you do. I know you do. I know you do.
I'm gonna pretend to know what you guys are talking about. Yeah, me too. I love it, guys.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. Like, it hasn't been that diverse and exciting for me, but I'm getting ready to actually sit down and hammer out an actual stream schedule for both Twitch and YouTube. So you guys will probably see and hear me playing a lot more games. Like, I want to start getting it really like settled once I beat Ratchet and Clank. So yeah, that's everything that I've been playing, and we can go ahead and move into our next topic, because our next topic is always our favorite topic, and that is what's on your PlayStation. So Nellie, how are you liking the new format for PlayStation?
I am digging it.
Cool, because I'm liking the way it's going, and tonight's edition of PlayStation is called Hard or Soft. Guys, come on!
I love it.
This is a crossroads show. There had to be an innuendo somewhere here. But you know what? Get your minds out of the gutter, because it's the Taco Tuesday edition of PlayStation. Crossroads happens on Tuesday, so I don't know why the hell we hadn't talked about tacos yet.
First of all, telling me to get my head out of the gutter is like saying, "Don't look down." Because that's how immature I am. I just want to throw that out there.
I'm the same way, but come on, if I can break character, you can do it too. I have faith in you.
Wow.
So, hard or soft? Let's do this.
I'll start first. I love soft.
Whoa! Hold Hold on. I have a premise here. I have a script. Let me do this.
Oh, he's got a script.
Yeah.
So, some people like their tacos mild or spicy, meat or veggie, with hot sauce or without. But when it comes to taco preference, people's opinions can be vastly divided, and all are for a very good reason. Are you the kind of person who prefers their tacos with a satisfying, corny outer crunch, even if the taco may break apart? Or do you like a nice, soft bite of a flour tortilla? That's right, guys. We're talking about hard shell versus soft shell tacos tonight. So we're gonna do this, right? So Nelly, we're gonna start with you. Soft shell or hard shell? She can't even keep a straight face. She likes it hard. She likes it hard.
That's funny because that's why I'm laughing too. I love a good hard shell. I like biting into it and watching the shell just break everywhere. I don't know. That's a good taco to me. I like a crunchy shell.
Ed, hard or soft?
Soft. I love
soft.
Yeah, I love soft shell.
All right, Josh.
I like them both hard and soft.
Oh, you get down like that. What, you get it all at once, or you go one after the other?
I mean, I can alternate. I can do it all at once. Whatever floats your boat.
Double fisted.
Wow.
I've been known to double fist a couple softies. Yeah.
Here we go.
But in reality, I really, in all seriousness, I'm not a huge fan of crunchy tacos, but I do like putting a tortilla inside of the shell, making my taco, and then when I bite in and it's breaking apart, I dip the shell bits in the salsa. So it's like I'm breaking up some seasoned chips while I'm at it.
Okay.
Okay,
I need to
you
try
know
that.
what? You gave me an idea. Thank you, man. Shoot.
Because I did the inverse of what Taco Bell does with my favorite menu item, the Crunchwrap Supreme.
Yeah, because
when
they put the they put the sauce on the
tostada
outside
in there. Yeah, they put the tostada inside of the giant tortilla.
Yeah,
And I like it. I like it a lot. But I'm a breakfast taco guy, so it does usually skew soft.
it's true that.
I respect it.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
You know, if there's just not like sauce and like juices running out of it, is it even a good taco?
Right? Okay, so everybody's heard me talk quite a few times on Crossroads about how much I love nachos. So of course I love a freaking hard shell taco. Come on, guys. Come on. And yeah, like I don't care if like I'm starting to put it in my mouth and just disintegrates. Like a hard taco. It's just no other way as far as I'm concerned. And you know what? I know some people are gonna look at me funny, but you know what? If I'm have a soft shell taco, I might as well just go get a burrito. I might as well just go get a burrito. You know, at least I'll be satisfied that way.
Yeah, when I do the sauce, it's like the chicken tacos. I like having the chicken, the lettuce, and the sauce and tomatoes and stuff. I do a lot of that with the soft shell. Normally, if it's like when I'm leaving Taco Bell or something, I'll do hard, like the Doritos ones. I love, but most of the time I like do a soft with the chicken in it. Unless it's like from an actual Mexican place, then I'll definitely get like the hard shell. With the cilantro and everything added onto it.
Well, since you're talking about all these ingredients and stuff, is that your perfect taco, or have you had a perfect taco? Have you ever had one?
So, I haven't had a perfect taco yet. I don't know what the perfect taco is like to make. You know, I'm still on the search for that. So at this time, I wouldn't say it, but I kind of like I say I prefer like soft shell chicken tacos, but I haven't found the right taco just yet.
All right, Nelly. How about you? Have you ever had the perfect taco?
I have not, because I just like tacos in general, and I honestly never had a bad taco. So it's like everyone I had is perfect.
I have.
Oh,
I have. I have. And you know where it started? It started with the shell. Like there, you know, maybe I'm just that weirdo, you know, but I like Old El Paso taco
Agreed.
shells.
Continue.
I like old El Paso taco shells. Like there's just something about it, especially like when you throw them in the oven for a quick like 3 minutes and let them toast up and everything.
Mhm.
But I've had some very suspect freaking hard shell and soft shell tacos, and I know everyone loves corn tortillas. Most people love corn tortillas for tacos and stuff like that, but I've had a few corn tortillas where I'm like, you know what, just throw them in some oil and just go ahead and fry them up because like this is not hitting right now.
Ooh.
But my perfect taco is typically like a chicken taco. Like especially like if we're talking about it, like like shred the chicken the same way you would shred it for like if you put it on top of nachos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And make sure it's just like oozing with the juice and everything, and just throw that right in the shell and just give me a whole bunch of cheese, lettuce, some diced tomatoes, and when I'm feeling a little good about myself, like diced jalapenos, because I want more than just like a regular like gamut of jalapenos.
And see,
I want
I've never had jalapenos in a taco.
What? Oh,
Do you like spicy food?
I can't have it because
That's why. Okay, then I understand, because I was gonna say if you you're living your life wrong if you like spicy food and you have not put jalapenos in your.
I think I need to go, like I said, go to a Mexican place and get it at it all, with it to give it a taste. Because most tacos that I taste that they make it, they don't put jalapenos in it, and they don't ask or anything. They don't even put it to the side or anything. So maybe I should.
You have to specify.
Yeah, maybe I'll ask. Because I know a Mexican place that I might go up to tomorrow, and that's Wednesday, everybody. And I might order some tacos from them and be like, "Can you throw in some jalapenos? I want to try it." And everything. I believe in me being an Aries and my side being a fire, that I can't have fire stuff. Because I'd be like, ooh, I just turned into Charmander and just all that fire comes out. Like that Pokemon gif. I'd be like, this is me when I eat like real spicy stuff. But then but I eat spicy stuff when I had to do reviews for Snacktindo. So yeah, I'm excited to try it that way.
You need to do what Austin does. Austin just damns the consequences because he's gluten intolerant, and he just damns the consequences and does it anyway. Josh, take us home here. Have you ever had the perfect taco?
I have, as a matter of fact. I could not tell you the name of the establishment, only that I could not pronounce it. It said taco on the outside. That's literally all it said was taco. I go inside. I could not read the menu. I could not understand what the waiter was asking me, and I just said 3 tacos, and I received the single greatest taco flight of my life.
Oh, yeah?
There was so much in it, they were overflowing. Okay, I had to get a fork to finish my tacos because so many toppings had fallen out.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes something like this. You get a flour tortilla, right? You warm it up just a little bit. No crisp on it, just warm it a tiny bit. You put some ground beef in there. Put a little bit of finely shredded cheese. You put some lettuce in there. Dice up some cilantro and put it in. You put some salsa and some pico de gallo on top, and then you go to town on that bad boy like it's your last meal. If you're feeling really spicy, you dice up some jalapenos and throw them in there, or some green chilies. But man, let me tell you, I have searched for that place time and time again in Dallas, and I have never found it. I'm convinced this was a figment of my imagination.
I was going to say, were you drunk when you discovered this place?
I was not drunk. I was completely sober. I was 20. I've been searching for it for 9 years, and I've never found this place again.
Oh wow!
9 years. 9 years. I've driven to that part of town at least twice a year looking for it, and I've never found it again. It's like the episode of How I Met Your Mother when Jason Segel was looking for the best burger place in New York. He ate there his first day in town, and he's never found it again. Even Regis is looking for it. I feel like that's where I'm getting to, except instead of like Regis, we're going to get like, I don't know, Leno driving around looking for it. Or like the corpse of Johnny Carson is going to meet me there. Like something. Man, it's a great taco. It's a great taco.
Man, I want that taco.
Right?
There is also a local taco place here, though. It's a chain, but it's only in Texas. It's called Rosa's, and you go there. They do Taco Tuesdays, $5 taco plate. So you get 3 soft or crunchy tacos, totally loaded tacos. By the way, their soft tacos are probably about this big.
Ooh.
completely filled with toppings, and then you get rice and beans on the side. Fantastic. But they have diced up potato mixed in with their taco meat. And let me tell you, it actually adds to it. It slaps.
I've never heard that.
It slaps. I didn't even notice it. I just noticed there was a little bit of a good texture in there. I thought it was onion at first. And my girlfriend was like, no, dude, it's potato. Like, she pulled a piece out and had me eat it. It is definitely 100% potato that is in there. Man. But it's diced up so finely, and it adds just a little bit of fat to it, and it's so good.
Is it just like a regular taco with the potato in it?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
It's
straight up in their taco.
God, I'm starting to turn the fat man from Austin Powers. Get in my belly. Jesus Christ.
I need to order some tacos.
And then they give they give you tortillas.
What's open right now?
On the side.
You know, I'm gonna like take my ass straight to a Taco Bell. I know it's doing a disservice, but by the time we get off the podcast, none of the taco places are gonna be open except for Taco Bell. But might get some Locos tacos tonight.
Mine is too. I'm gonna go to YouTube music, and I will see y'all.
Nelly is out. Look. Oh man. That was a wonderful topic.
I'm going right to the draft room. I'm ready.
All right. Well, that's another edition of What's on Your Plate Station, Taco Tuesday edition. So, hard or soft, like there you have it. All right. We're going to go ahead and break into tonight's news and events for this week. Guys, are you ready to talk about some stuff? Because we got some good topics tonight.
Let's do it.
We got some good topics tonight. First up on the list for tonight is Solar Ash gets a release date. Yeah, I know there's a few people here tonight that are a little excited about that. Like, Josh, you sound so enthused.
I've been waiting for this game for quite a while now. Since we first got it announced last year. Hyper Light Drifter, I love that game. This is from the same creator. Thrilled that this is finally coming out. I was getting really, really worried this was going to slip to next year, which would have been understandable, but it also would have been a bummer. Even COVID times, I hate when we get a game that gets announced that they say, oh yeah, it's almost done, and then it's like a year later and we've had no news on it. That starts to worry me a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that it's finally coming out. Annapurna doesn't miss, so I'm here for it.
Yep. Publisher Annapurna Interactive made a plethora of announcements during its first game showcase this past Thursday, which featured games including Outer Wilds, Stray, and Artful Escape. Solar Ash, the second game from Heart Machine, the creators of the award-winning 2016 game Hyper Light Drifter, thanks Josh for bringing that up, was confirmed for release on October 26th for PC and PlayStation consoles. The action game has players journeying through a surreal, vivid, and highly stylized world filled with mystery, wild high-speed traversal, endearing characters, and massive enemy encounters, according to the developer. Its release date trailer, which clocks in just over 70 seconds, link has been provided in our Twitch stream chat right now, so check it out if you're watching us live. We got a chance to see more of the game's environments and gameplay during that trailer, which details a very immersive world with beautiful graphics, mind-altering physics, and what's shaping up to be one of the most gorgeous soundtracks gamers will ever experience in gaming. Well, not ever, because I'm pretty sure like there's going to be game soundtracks that just wow us, for the rest of our lives, as long as we're still playing games.
Mm-hmm.
Just real quickly, the Artful Escape, which was confirmed for release on Xbox consoles, including Game Pass and PC, will be out September 9th. Stray, that PlayStation game that's all about the cat living in the robot world, for PlayStation and PC, has got a new trailer, but it has not gotten a specific release date. It looks like now it's planned for release early next year. And the critically acclaimed space exploration game Outer Wilds is officially getting an expansion. The publisher and games developer Mobius Digital announced that Echoes of the Eye, Outer Wilds, will be the final campfire tale. Will be released for consoles and PC on September 28th. So we got some good ones coming out this week. I already know Josh's answer on this, but question for you guys: will you be picking up Solar Ash? And is it a day one release, or are you just getting it?
So it's a wait and see for me.
Uh-huh.
And it's not because of no, it's not because of the game. I'm excited for Solar Ash. I think just getting a lot of games in October and November, and Solar Ash I'm just putting it on the back burner because I do want to play it on PlayStation 5. But like at this time, I'm just gonna wait I'm just gonna wait for it. So it is a purchase, but it's just a wait purchase for me. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah,
Josh.
I'm gonna.
Well,
okay.
no, we already know Josh, but I want to hear Josh's final word.
Yeah, this is provided I have the funds there. This is a day one purchase for me. I've said before, I play a lot of my indies through Game Pass, but this is one I don't want to wait to go to other platforms. I don't want to wait for potentially up to a year or longer to play this elsewhere. I'll gladly shell out the $20-25 for it. Gladly.
Okay. All right, Nelly.
I'm with Ed on this one. I just want to wait and see.
I'm also in the wait and see camp, but it's only because like I'm really picking and choosing like the games that I want to get for the rest of the year and stuff like that.
Yep.
I mean, I know for sure like I'm getting Metroid Dread. I know for sure I'm getting Advance Wars. I know for sure I'm getting Kingdom Bridge of Spirits. I know for sure I will be getting Horizon Forbidden West if that game is actually coming out this year. But we're not gonna talk about that tonight on this show because guess what? Like, there's no rumor control tonight, so we're not talking about rumors of speculation from a certain person that writes for Bloomberg.
Ready Pitchford the third.
But yeah, like I'm on the wait and see train for this too. Solar Ash looks great. Like that gameplay trailer was phenomenal. Like
To me, it looks like a December game, a good game for the winter holidays to be cozy and just definitely if you're seeing like this coldness and whiteness outside, to have something colorful with this game is kind of what. So I'll probably do it in December because not like after Advance Wars in December, I don't know what else to play. So that would be a great game definitely for me to pick up and buy.
Yeah,
Dying Light 2, Ed.
Back for Blood's coming too.
I know.
Back for Blood's coming day one Xbox Game Pass.
I gotta
Hell yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta put in work in Dying Light so I can get ready for Dying Light 2. I'm excited for that game. So excited finally.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, this news topic was brought to us thanks from Andy Robinson via videogameschronicle.com. So I gotta get better at throwing the shout outs to wherever the sources come from on that. So yeah. All right. So we're gonna move on to our next topic for this evening, and we are talking about Astro's Playroom PS5 dev team. Okay, the PS5 dev team for Astro's Playroom has teased their most ambitious game yet on a new website. So yeah, we talked a lot about Astro's Playroom. Astrobot, the game on PS5. So let's keep going. Let's talk about their dev now. All right, this news comes to us from Stephen Tailby at pushsquare.com. All right, so let me frame this just right because I know some people are going to get heartbroken as soon as I say this. All right, Japan Studio may have been dissolved, but that's not to say PlayStation's completely left its home country. Amid the restructure, Tokyo-based Team Asobi has become one of Sony's youngest developers, and it's already won the hearts of fans with the Astrobot games. The studio behind Astrobot Rescue Mission and Astro's Playroom, both of which are excellent, has just launched a brand new website with a few neat things to note. Firstly, it's made abundantly clear that the studio is focused on family-friendly experiences. In a quote, they say, "We create top-quality games for players of all ages on PlayStation." This is read on the site. Which means that we shouldn't expect the team to delve into mature titles. It sounds like Astro will be sticking around, or at least we'll be getting more lighthearted action platformers in the future, which is honestly fine by us. Like, I feel like I feel like sometimes platforming can be like I feel like sometimes in this day and age, platforming is kind of a dying art. Like, so like we appreciate games like Ratchet and Clank right now.
Mhm.
Uh, speaking of future projects, though, the description goes on to state Team Asobi is currently hard at work on our most ambitious game yet. Given the exceedingly positive reception to the PS5 pack-in of Astro's Playroom, it looks as though Sony has greenlit a follow-up with a larger scope. Whether it reverts back to virtual reality when the new PSVR unit emerges, or sticks with a flat screen experience, we'll have to wait and see. Hey, maybe it'll be playable both ways. Whatever the case, gamers are going to be excited. The team is seriously staffing up with lots of jobs across the various fields to offer. Again, it's clear the studio is a much larger entity within PlayStation Studios now, and it's growing to meet the needs of its most ambitious game. Links have been provided for this in the Twitch live stream chat. Check them out when you get a chance. The future is bright for Team Asobi then. And are you excited to see what's coming up next, guys? Are you excited to see what's coming up next for them?
Just give me my games. That's how I feel. I'm always excited for new games.
So I'm not excited for the next
Why
game,
not?
and it's
Why
not
not?
because it's not because I didn't play any of their work. I think by the look of it, what they got going is good. Sometimes when they say their most ambitious game, I'm like, yeah, but I would prefer you to do something more innovative, because I'm just like, what is going to be ambitious? What is going to be so eager for us to play it? Yeah, you are talking about it in your ambitious game, but it's got to be something that's going to be like to me personally, it needs to be innovative and mind blowing.
On that point, let me ask you a question. Isn't it the job of the developers to set the expectation?
It is, but talk is cheap sometimes.
Okay, true. Now let me ask you this then, because it's the job of the developers to set the expectation, but isn't it the job of us as gamers to rein in our hype? Because
we have reined in our hype for past games and have been let down when the front execution.
No. When I say rein in our hype, I mean keep it under control.
We can, but it depends on how that marketing of that game is delivered when we see it. You could say this is a more ambitious game, and some people like this is something that we've seen 1,000 of times. So that word ambitious, you got to be careful on how you're gonna use it, because if your game looks like something else, it's not ambitious. It's just that you are hyping something for that particular system that we'll be able to play it on. Then it being something that we're normal. Because I could say this: if it's going to be ambitious, I would like to see what is your take on Splatoon? Because I think they have a look and design feel that they could do their own version of Splatoon with the way that their games look and how colorful and how wonderful their design looks and stuff. I could see their take on Splatoon. They don't have to do Splatoon, but they could have a take on it.
I feel like we already have someone doing a take on Splatoon. It was called Knockout City.
Well, it must have been
and probably to the developer of Knockout City, that might have been their most ambitious title.
Mm-hmm.
When they were developing. I can think of some other titles that were pretty ambitious when the devs started working on it. Horizon Zero Dawn, most ambitious title.
That's the one that comes to my mind is when it first got announced.
Yeah,
by Guerrilla, they said our most ambitious game ever. I think that when Sony Studios in particular say this, they follow it up. The only time I would say they didn't follow it up, and it was ambitious, it just didn't quite hit the mark exactly, would be when Bend announced Days Gone.
I was thinking that
was completely different for a team that the last time they worked on a actual console and not handheld had been the PlayStation 1. So
another studio that seems to be like, if we're sticking with Sony studios for a moment, another studio that seems to be like going, like when they decide they're going to go a different route, like it's always ambitious for them. I mean, look at Naughty Dog. We saw Jak and Daxter's we saw Jak and Daxter's and Crash Bandicoots. Nobody was expecting freaking Uncharted.
So
Nobody
we're talking
expected
about.
The Last of Us.
So
Nobody
we're
was
talking
expecting
about.
that.
The Last of Us, yeah.
So we're talking about change in design, like change in genre in a sense. Because if we look at Horizon, don't forget Guerrilla is only known for Killzone, for first person shooters. And Horizon is an action adventure game. So the change of the genre and the design is something that's new to them. So that is ambitious. So if they're going to do something like that, they're going to have to change their genre, which means they're going to have to make IP.
Not necessarily.
I mean, they don't need to change their genre. I mean, like they can still the Astrobot games have been all family friendly games and stuff like that. They can still make more family friendly games. I mean, shoot, Nintendo. Every time Nintendo slaps a new Mario title out, there's a lot of the most ambitious title out there, and I feel like a lot of it's more of the same.
Well, I think using the examples that you guys gave, those developers are doing something new to them because it's a new genre. It's not continuing. Horizon Zero Dawn is not a first person shooter that Guerrilla is known for. It is a third person action thing. That's something completely new from Guerrilla. That is ambitious because that's something completely new for them. It's a new IP for them. Like if they're going to go that route, I will want them to go that route. Actually try a different genre and like a new IP, something that it still be family friendly, but it don't need to be in the Astrobot world. It needs to be something completely different.
We'll see. Like from this article though, like we don't even know if it's going to be an Astrobot game. All we know is that the team behind Astrobot, who's been doing Astrobot games for like God knows how long, they just turned around and said like they're working on something that's shaping up to be its most ambitious game. I mean, if they're ramping up like studio hires and all this stuff, something's going on. I don't think we're going to get another Astrobot game, from a 200-man team.
Yeah, I think when you said the Sony's greenlit the follow up, I think that word follow up changes the discussion because that's what you said. They funded the next follow up. So I'm thinking Astrobot. That's not ambitious because you're still doing something within that.
A follow up is like whatever the next project is. Like if you
do something different.
Yeah, like I mean, if we look at like let's look at the music industry for a second. Like someone drops an album, and then what's their follow up album going to be like? Things like that. Are they going to change the genre, or stuff like that? So that's a follow up.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with both of you.
Okay.
I think that LeRon, I think you're partially right when you hit it on the head and say 200-man team. There's no way that it's going to be like Astrobot. I personally think Asobi has at least 2 teams going right now because there's no way it took their entire studio to make Astro's Playroom. Yeah, I think that they are gearing up to have a launch title for PSVR 2 next year, and I do think it is another Astrobot game, to be completely clear. But Astrobot has shown that it has that appeal to cross over to mainstream audiences now. Previously, that was just a PSVR title. I did not understand the hype around Astrobot. Then I played Astro's Playroom, and I says, okay, I know that this is basically a glorified tech demo to show me how the DualSense works, but it's also a really beautiful celebration of 20 years of PlayStation, right? So when I think what they're going to do next is you can do a follow-up to Astro's Playroom. It can be ambitious because it's dealing with that new technology in PSVR. That can be what they're referring to. But, I mean, just making a bigger and like a complete platformer, because the first Astrobot's a fairly short PSVR game. Astro's Playroom is like an hour or 2 long.
Yeah.
Making a full-on $60 title for this studio would be their most ambitious title ever, when they've previously only done a $20 and a console pack-in. So I don't think that we necessarily need to change genres here or change the type of game we're making. I think that a bigger, fuller, more complete story would be big for them. I think telling an actual story would be huge for Team Asobi, especially if that's going to be their primary Japanese studio now.
Well, I was using the examples because of the games that you guys was giving. And that sounded to me personally like a change in genre for that developer.
Right. I don't think that's what this is, for the record. I think these are going to continue to be platformers. I think Sony and Microsoft are both realizing the value in having those types of games. They may not be your like 10 million seller games, but Ratchet and Clank is a longtime popular franchise that It's selling 1 million copies on PS5 in its debut month. That's a huge chunk. That's a huge rate of attachment. That's 1 out of every 10 PS5 owners owns that game just from day one. That's not counting July sales. That's not counting, what it's going to sell the rest of the year when people like me finally get around to it. Like, there is a desire for the platformer, and that's when we were talking earlier about Psychonauts. Like, I think we're about to see a resurgence of platformers on non-Nintendo consoles. And I think that's really good and that's really healthy. They're doing something that a PlayStation studio and really to an extent a Microsoft studio are not doing, and that's creating in-house experiences. I'd like to see them personally. I wonder if Naughty Dog would give them the keys to make a next-gen Ratchet and Clank game. Or not Ratchet and Clank, Jak and Daxter.
Jak and Daxter.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. That's a classic franchise that fans have been calling for years to come back. And we were all kind of, oh, maybe Naughty Dog will go back. I think when we talk about changing genres, I think at that point the genie comes out of the bottle, right? We're seeing that kind of happen with Obsidian right now. Obsidian is exploring things with Avowed and with Grounded and the Outer Worlds that they've never done before. Those games are completely different from things like Pillars of Eternity, from Planetscape, from KOTOR. Like, these are completely different titles. And I think that that's good when you can have multiple genres working. Even Ninja Theory. They're doing Hellblade and they're doing an experimental horror game in Project Mara. I think you have to be able to look at these teams and say, Sony has learned this, right? Do what you want. If you can sell leadership on it, we will let you make it. We will fund it. Horizon almost didn't get made because they felt it was too different from Killzone, and they had to convince them. Santa Monica pretty much was told they weren't going to get to do God of War until Cory Barlog came in and pitched what would become God of War 2018. Same with Sucker Punch and Ghost of Tsushima. They were known for Infamous and Sly Cooper before that. Like, Ben was known for doing Siphon Filter and shovelware PSP games. And then they're creating Days Gone.
Don't be mean. Don't be.
Listen, I'm not being mean. I'm being truthful. I love Siphon Filter, but tell me the last good game that Sony Ben made. It's probably Siphon Filter 3 on the PS2.
Uncharted Golden Abyss.
I said good games, LeRon.
Oh, whoa!
Shay, wait a minute.
Shay. I said good games.
I like Golden Abyss.
I like Golden Abyss, but I said good games.
Shay.
Anyways,
I did not try out Days Gone. So come on, man, give me some credit.
Circling back around to the point, though, I think this is an interesting opportunity for Asobi, because if Sony has taught me anything over the last generation, it's that you can always expect their studios to do the unexpected. So I still expect them to work on Astrobot.
Yeah.
But I expect them to be doing something completely new and unique at the same time. And that excites me. We won't see this game until probably 2024. I suspect we'll see the return of Astrobot will be much sooner. I suspect with the pack-in for VR2. But I think the true game we're talking about here that they're hiring for and expanding and all this and that is a 2024 title, in my opinion. And that may secretly be the most exciting Sony project in the works. It's getting back to the roots. We talked before the show, and it's going to be a bonus episode, but about how we got into PlayStation, right? And we all, even though we all had different jumping on points, we all talked about playing games like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro back on PS1. And I think so many people's, especially if you're in your late 20s, early 30s, PlayStation is synonymous with platformers of the 90s and the early 2000s, with Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Crash, Spyro. Look at the run they went on with those franchises. And even today, Ratchet and Clank is still changing kids' lives. It's changing big kids' lives too, right? It's making 29-year-old me really excited to go out and play it when I can finally do that. But I think that taps into the nostalgia factor, and it does something that nobody other than Nintendo is really doing right now. Nintendo really has the market cornered on platformers, and I think that excites me.
You know what, Josh? Thank you for making me a believer, because now I'm on the same mindset as you. So yeah. So thank you for that.
Innovation drives excellence.
That's true.
Innovation creates competition, which is healthy for all of us. This isn't going to be some half-assed Balan Wonderland game, okay?
Didn't I say that I'd rather for them to go for innovation than ambition?
But ambition and innovation can be of the same thing.
Can be the same thing. Yeah, they can.
You
they
can birth
they can walk hand in
innovation
hand.
from ambition and vice versa.
Well, that's why I
think
said
it's entirely possible.
That's why I said that if they're gonna say that it's the most, for me personally, with them, I wish they would do something innovative than ambition. Because if they say it and it come out, because I feel like that. I just have a feeling that it's going to be something that we've already experienced, and
I don't think
like
it's going to be. Judging by
video games, video games
fine.
are nearly half a century old. Like, we're going to see a lot more of games we've already seen before.
Well, yeah,
while we wait for that
Something
1%
new,
game.
much, right?
Yeah, that 1% game. Yeah, I mean, hell, technically, like these, like all these remakes, like, even like the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes that, basically like flip the original games on their head, it's still stuff we've already seen before in some other game.
I'm just saying, for me, that's all.
Like, we talked about Dead Space last week as the hot topic, and we said that when they originally put out to do the original Dead Space game, they were trying to copy Resident Evil 4.
Of course.
But look what it did. But look what it did for the survival horror genre. They did what Capcom couldn't do at the time. They actually made it so Isaac could run and shoot. Leon couldn't do that.
And you got to realize that was the first game of that style being done. So not everything was fully, Well,
I get it, but that is one of the things that a lot of people said held back the original Resident Evil game when they played it for the first time. And this is before Dead Space ever came out.
Yeah,
they're like they did all this work to free up things, and we can't move and shoot. Like, basic first-person shooters had do that, and first-person shooters were old as dirt compared to third-person profile games.
Just say that's a me thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, if this game comes out and I don't hear another word of ambition come out from the show, I am leaving work and I will jump on Skype and we will have a discussion.
Okay, I'll invite it. I'm just saying. When I see small companies like when I see small companies say stuff like this, when they say the most ambitious, like, I tend to believe them, because guess what? They're probably they're stepping out of the comfort zone in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Even if it's like Josh said, just a $60 version of like Astrobot, where it's a full-fledged game where you're gonna get like rationing.
I'd buy that for $60 to be completely clear.
Yeah, because Astrobot's Playroom. Oh my God! Number one, is the easiest platinum trophy you can get.
And then I look at a studio like Housemarque, and like when they said we're working on delivering our most ambitious game ever, and then they reveal that it's Returnal, which is not only their most ambitious game, it's hard as shit. That is a hard game. That is not a game for everyone. There's a reason why it only sold 500,000 copies, right? Like. There's a reason why, but it's. I think that's a unique spin on a rogue type game, and I think that's something really special. Like, we see this with Sony time and time and time again with their studios. It's like something really clicked around the time that they greenlit The Last of Us. When they started lighting games for PS4, and even in the early days of PS4, when they were like, hey, The Last of Us worked out really good. Let's do more games like that. Let's let these studios and these teams do what they really want to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's, like, when we talk about these first-party developers, Sony has to be so ridiculously excited when it comes to a team like Asobi that was a small team that made Astrobot and Astro's Playroom, and now they're going, hey, we're going to bring in we're closing Japan Studio, but we're going to build this team up, because this team had, and not that Japan Studio didn't have it, but we're going to build up this team that has a track record of excellence now, and we're going to have them, personal speculation, work on our premier VR title and work on a unique console experience for our gamers. Even if it's just something that really taps into the DualSense, I'm excited. Like, with Sumo Digital being bought out now by Tencent, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Now you don't have somebody to make Little Big Planet. What if they hand them Sackboy? There is, like, we are overdue for innovation with Sackboy and with Little Big Planet. What if Asobi gets a hold of that, or like literally any of these other characters that they have the rights to? There is so much excitement there, I think, and I don't want to keep dragging it on and repeating myself.
Yeah, and that's why I think that's why I feel like from them, I would love to see something more innovative. And yes, I did say I would like to see what their take is on Splatoon. Maybe ambition for something on their take of Splatoon, because I think they're great developers. They make phenomenal games. That stuff looks good. I think they could be a leading company for Sony and for family friendly games if they do something innovative, something new that we have never seen. Because I think because I need to see something from Sony that is also taking lead in something new. And I think Sony has the power to do that. And I guess that's putting more pressure on them, or maybe maybe something I want personally for me. Being a fan of Sony and their games for years. Like, I really want to see what happens when you really push the envelope that other people can't do. That's what I want to see. And they may have a chance to do that. And maybe that's just something from me.
Ratchet and Clank was a start. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was a start. Mm-hmm. That game not only did stuff for the DualSense controller, it did stuff for the tech. Like, it's incredible. Like, I'm standing behind it. It's one of my contenders for Game of the Year and stuff like that. So yeah, trust me, when Sony wants to like hike up their britches and stuff and like actually do the damn thing, they do the fucking thing.
And that's just
you know what? I know this is a Sony show, but that also goes for Microsoft Studios. When Microsoft Studios want to do the damn thing, they do the fucking thing. And Nintendo
it just may take about 6 years to get to that point.
Hey, when it comes to Quantum Break for Microsoft, pushed the envelope for me because I
don't want to talk about Quantum Break.
So I'm saying for me personally.
Okay, we're gonna move on from this topic. We're gonna move on from this topic. Quantum Break could have easily been a damn trilogy. It could have easily been a damn trilogy. Easily.
Yeah, and it was just one game, wasn't it?
It was one game. It was one game, and I thought that Control was going to be like the spiritual successor, but it seems like Control is more successor to Alan Wake.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on because we can't have Josh angsting.
I'm gonna get real sad if we keep talking about Quantum Break, so we need to move on.
All right. So we're at our hot topic for the night. So let's get ready for this because it seems like Crossroads is going to become the Ghost of Tsushima show, just like it used to be the Cyberpunk show. But so I might as well just start prefacing it by saying it's not an episode of Crossroads if we're not talking about Ghost of Tsushima. So, so here we go. Ghost of Tsushima PS5 upgrades are not generic hardware upgrades, according to the developer. All right. This news comes to us from Zarmina Khan at PlayStationLifestyle.net. Here we go. When Sucker Punch Productions and Sony Interactive Entertainment lifted the curtains on Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, many were surprised and upset that the PlayStation 5 specific features were paywalled, requiring existing players to fork out an additional $9.99 at a minimum to enjoy features exclusive to the new hardware. In the past, such upgrades have been offered for free, leading to Sony attracting criticism for the new pricing strategy. In an interview with Australian publication Press Start, Sucker Punch creative and art director Jason Connell said that the upgrades in question are not quote-unquote generic hardware upgrades. They have been incorporated into the Iki expansion and are tightly connected to Jin's experience on the island. All right, in a direct quote, the thing that I think is important for people to know is that those features that make it so specific to PS5, we didn't just work on those as a generic hardware upgrade. They are fully enveloped into the Iki expansion and Jin's experiences on Iki. They were tightly connected to one another, so that's the main reason why we didn't look at them as kind of separate. We really wanted those two to sing together, and that's the base reason for why we did it. Elsewhere in the interview, Connell revealed that Sucker Punch has added the ability to hide the quiver in the game because it's somehow a very commonly requested feature that wasn't too difficult to implement. Okay, so Nelly, you already know this. Ed and Josh, you may not know this. I have not played Ghost of Tsushima yet. I have not played it. As a matter of fact, Austin and I we're holding out for the PS5 edition.
Right. I've been on the show when we talked about it.
Okay. All right. So, let's talk about that for a second. So here's a question: do you feel that Sucker Punch's explanation was a good enough justifier for an additional price tag coming with the director's cut?
No. Not at all.
Is that all you're gonna? Is that? I feel like there's more.
No, I mean I'll expand on it. Just like quite bluntly, no. I think it's bullshit marketing, is what it is. I think in a world where you have, and I really hate to keep drawing equivalencies, but like I said, competition breeds excellence, right? And I think it looks really, really bad on you when you're charging for the 4K 60 frames upgrade. And I get that there's a few other things. Okay, you can hide the quiver. Whoop-de-fucking-do. That's called a QOL change. That's quality of life improvements. When we get to the point where we're starting to charge for that, this is Sony tiptoeing to see what they can charge for that we won't raise a fit about. But when your competitor is putting out FPS boost and auto HDR for games that came out on the fucking 360 and is putting them out for early Xbox One games even all the way through their life cycle, that looks really bad. When they've committed to doing that for all of their first-party games, it looks really, really bad on you, especially when the game is a year old. I have no problem with charging for Iki Island. That as a $20 expansion, zero problems with it whatsoever. I like single-player DLCs, especially in games with a great world, with an engaging narrative. No problem with that. I have a problem that these changes, these QOL changes, are only accessible if you pay for them. That is ridiculous.
Well, let me hold on a second, Ed. Hold on a second, because I have a word. I have a word on this point. With everything that's going on right now, I have a funny feeling. I think based off of everything we know right now, based on like the additional price for like the director's cut edition and the expansion and all that stuff, I'm starting to think that Sucker Punch had already decided to move on from this game. They did the expansion content, which added the co-op and the multiplayer stuff to it. They added the new modes and all that stuff. And I think that was their final part of the roadmap for this game. And I have a funny feeling that they had already moved on to like either a new property or in the planning stages of a new property and stuff like that, and were asked to come back to do something. I have a funny feeling like Iki may have been an actual sequel.
I think Iki was the beginning of the sequel, frankly.
Yeah.
We had this discussion the last time Ed and I were on here about the Death Stranding director's cut during the State of Play. And we went down kind of the same line of thought that we felt that Kojima had moved on from Death Stranding.
Yes.
And got asked to come back to it.
Well, so thinking about, because we mentioned Skyward Sword earlier in our bonus talk, and we was talking about definitely on Pod Block. Sorry, I had to bring that up. I had a Doc Mo section about people rebuying games. Are we paying for the work that goes into it? Because I think that's something that we don't think when it comes to price points and stuff, and paying for upgrades in games, the work that goes into it. There is a budget that these companies do set aside for games that are getting upgrade or getting reworked on, and maybe we selling it, they want to be probably compensated or make some revenue or whatever the case may be, to we get that money back from that budget. I don't, if the same thing is happening with Sony, that may be the reason. I just don't know fully. I think the director's cut thing for the PS5 version is kind of baffling, just altogether, because it feels like there was no mention of this game after it came out. And like, I agree with you, LeRon, that when they finished all that stuff last year that came out, that Sucker Punch was going on to the next game. Maybe Sony told Sucker Punch, hey, start working on support the new version for it.
It's a possibility. I'm sorry, I broke your train of thought. I'm sorry.
So So maybe that's what Sucker Punch was doing, and maybe Sony just be like, we need to, because they made money. I think they made their money back from the original PS4 version because it sold well
They made it back in the first week.
in the first.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they probably felt like, since we're putting all this effort and time from whatever the last thing that you guys did to what this game is, we gave you guys a budget, so now we got to make that money back. We got to make that budget back. So maybe this is the reason of why they are charging. Now, for Xbox, because of them setting the standards that they're upgrading stuff for free for old games, Ghost of Tsushima isn't a old game. Death Stranding isn't a old game. Yes, it is last generation and it's a couple years old, but it's a game that's already been out, and maybe, like I said, they probably got a budget for this new content that they're trying to make money back on. So maybe that may be the reason. I think the price point of everything is confusing. It's the upsetting part. Instead of just making it okay, if you got the $70 version of the game, then yes, for PS5, that's great. If you got the PS4 version, you'll get everything for an extra $10, so that the $70 equals together. That you got all the upgrades, you got the expansion, you don't have to do anything else. Added the $29.99 and all of that crazy mess, that makes no sense. Everything should have just been $70, because you're literally, for the PS4 players who got the game, they're paying more than the $70 version. In a sense, if you got to pay in a certain
way. But here's the thing about it: they don't have to pay that. They can stop right where they're at.
Oh yeah.
I mean, okay, it sounds harsh, but you know what? Like you guys know me, I'm kind of a realist. Like it sounds harsh, but they don't have to pay that. They don't have to get the PS5 upgrades. They don't have to do the PS5 edition if they don't want to. They can stop right where they're at. And the good damn news is, like, they don't have to spend the money on it. They can play the base PS4 game on the PS5 and it won't be a problem.
Exactly.
It is, and I think that's why people are. I think with this thing, that's why the review for this game is going to be important. And the reason why I say that, because that may be the deciding factor of why people want to play it. Don't go on Metacritic trying to look up the score. Don't go on Metacritic 2 days after and see what people think, because they're going to rate it whatever they want. Literally pay attention to what the review says. If it pinpoint that you gonna get an experience for that $10, if you decide to do it, then go ahead and get it. But if it's not really adding too much to it, then yeah, don't even look forward to it.
Like, pretty much play it for yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
If you want.
This all goes back to conversations I've had. Like, we're on episode 47 of Crossroads. We've had these conversations since the beginning of the show started and stuff like that. Like, gamers have to take responsibility for what they're going to do when it comes to their gaming habits and stuff like that, And here's the thing about it, like, I didn't buy Ghost of Tsushima when it first came out on PS4. I had quite a few times, like, hell, the game even dropped to $30 and I almost bought it then, but I was like, well, I know a PS5 version is coming for it, because guess what? Everything tracks. Like, games are, and this has happened on almost all consoles since the PS2 era. Games that release at the end of a console's life cycle show up again at the beginning of the next console's life cycle and stuff like that. So at this point, we've been doing this for 20 plus years now. At this point, you can expect a next gen version of a game that just came out like within a year prior to the next gen consoles coming out and stuff like that. So, I asked the question earlier, are gamers just too self-entitled with this? And I feel like the answer is yes, because the simple fact is that to a degree, a lot of people knew these games were coming. Like, I mean, hell, like Spider-Man got remastered and bundled with Miles Morales, and that's a launch title technically for PS5 now. Stuff like that. I spent $70 for Spider-Man and Miles Morales, even though I already bought the game once on PS4. I already had the game.
And see,
I can go grab my case for the original Spider-Man game for PS4 right now and show you guys.
In our pop block discussion, LeRon, I think I even asked you this. Why is it when, and just an example, I was like, why does Nintendo get a lot of criticism for re-releasing games at $60 or whatever price point, and they tell you what all they did, but then when Sony and Microsoft do it, and whatever they charge, no one says anything.
Wait, hold on, because that sounds like it's an unfair assumption there.
Yeah, but I think with the talk, like this director's cut of Ghost of Tsushima, this is the first time that I have seen upset from the community about a PlayStation game.
Why weren't they upset about Final Fantasy VII Remake? Because Final Fantasy VII Remake had a price tag attached to its update.
What, isn't it like what, $30 or something for it?
Yeah.
And no one said anything.
Yeah, I mean, so people are picking and choosing what they do and don't want to do. And if I'm wrong out there, like, someone let me know if I'm wrong about this. But all I'm saying is like, people are picking and choosing stuff like that. You know, is it because it's a first party Sony title? So like, you know, like that's what's getting the ire, because Death Stranding is also technically a first party Sony title, even though technically it released on PC. But I said this a couple of weeks ago. I think this is the testing ground, because it was never promised to us that every PS4 game that makes it PS5 was going to get the free updates. People made the assumption because Microsoft has smart delivery. People made the assumption, but Sony never made any promises. Because I remember, like, Nelly, remember on the very first episode of Crossroads, we had a lot of developers that were giving pushback to the fact that they had to go back in and do work to get these upgrades done.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I remember.
And that's the thing that I asked my panel, which is like, I think gamers don't realize that sometimes you have to pay for the work that these budgets are for them to do. They gotta recoup that money, because if they're doing all of this work and they feel like they're not getting paid for it, those companies are going to be like, well, why do we need even to break anything? Because we're not making no money off of it and stuff. You know, and I don't blame Microsoft at spoiling anybody. Microsoft got to bear like, hey, put it in the system with us to work that it upgrades it. Sony and Nintendo. Oh, so, go ahead, Nettie. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna ask, like, don't developers make their cut at full price?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Metacritic bonuses are paid out then as well. So they would have already been paid over and over for it. I mean, so I want a quick backtrack. LeRon, you were wondering if Final Fantasy VII's stuff was part of the paid update. It was not. That was provided at no cost if you already owned the game.
Okay, I couldn't remember, because I just remember
the improved visuals, the frame rate, all the QOL changes were given to you if you already owned it. It was if you had it through PS Plus, you did not.
There we go. Yes. Thank you. So thank you. I knew something wasn't right about that. Because I remember spending money for the DLC.
You have to pay for the story content.
Yeah, $20. It was just $20. Yeah.
And again, so I mean, that's my problem with the Ghost of Tsushima thing. Is not, I have no problem paying for content if the content is worthy. I have way of a bigger problem paying for a 4 to 5 hour expansion in Final Fantasy VII Remake than I do than a $20 I would feasibly be paying for Iki Island. I have far less of a problem there, because this I liken to, it's an expansion. They're promising 20 hours of gameplay, a full-on story. Cool. That's what this should be for a single-player game.
Yes.
I think it sets a. I want to phrase this carefully. I think it sets an almost dangerous precedent here. If we start charging for QOL changes, where does it stop? Because we already know Ghost of Tsushima and Death Stranding are the first two. This is why we have not gotten a true Last of Us 2 update yet. They are waiting to package that in with Factions as the complete edition sometime next year. I would not be surprised to see that, Factions, and The Last of Us 1 remake all bundled together in a neat little $90 package, a la Miles Morales and Spider-Man. I think that this sets a bit of a problem when, and like we said, you respond to what your competition does, right? And I think it's a bad look for the company that just had arguably the best lineup over year in history to start charging for upgrades to their games now to play them the way that the gamers claim is the true way to play them. If I gotta pay for a fucking upgrade to God of War, I'm gonna actually scream. Like, I joke, but that is a realistic question for me, though, is where does it end? Where does the buck stop? Like, would this still be happening if Shuhei Yoshida or Sean Layden were in charge? Or is this a Jim Ryan thing of, fuck it, we can get a few more bucks out of these guys, and of the people who didn't own PS4s and own PS5s now, let's do it. I think that this is really bad. Like, the Kojima one is slightly less bad to me because we talked about this last time. He always does a complete edition.
Yeah.
But I still think locking, and I don't care if you want to add missions, gameplay, etc. Cool, go for it. That is an optional expansion. To play the game the way that it should be played, though, that is inexcusable when you have another company doing that for free. Nintendo is like the exception and the outlier here, and I won't brag on them for this because they're literally bringing games to a new format. Like, you cannot take a Wii U disc and pop it into your Switch. That is slightly different to me. So they have to charge that full price again. There is no way to do a discount there.
And I feel like kind of like with Nintendo, when they pick and choose their games, it's from a generation of a system that is not available on sometimes. I
mean, sure, but also almost any Wii U game worth a damn has been ported over in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So, like, at least, with Sony, it's like, oh, we're going to bring over the titles from last year, and it's just like, okay, these machines are already significantly better than the PS4, the base PS4 you developed them for. Why is it not? And I mean, I've noticed performance enhancements in loading, especially automatically, right? And these machines should be doing that. But it just keeps coming back to my core thing of one company is doing this, and it's really cool that you're doing this for free. And I understand why you're doing it for free. I have no doubt in my mind that if Microsoft was ahead, they'd be full on charging you for the upgrade to Master Chief Collection that they just did, for the upgrades to Quantum Break that they've done, for the ones they've done for the Gears games. No doubt in my mind. But it sets a bad precedent, I think. And I think third parties are watching this real carefully going, what do we do? Or that Sony took a look at what Black Ops Cold War did last year and went, hey, they didn't suffer any problems at all. Them and 2K did great. Let's do that. Let's charge a few more bucks for this. I don't think they have too many more games they can do this on, frankly, after The Last of Us.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think beyond that, like, I do think that they're going to hear the fan uproar pretty loud. Like Death Stranding, I think we all just kind of went, okay, it's a Kojima thing. We're going to kind of ignore it. Ghost of Tsushima, though, its upgrade thing, not only is it bullshit that you're locking the 60 frames and 4K and things like that behind it, it is a very confusing price structure. I have read this so many times, and I'm still confused as to which upgrade I need to buy.
Right. But, and that's why when LeBron broke it down and we was doing it, I was more upset about that price structure. I'm
upset about both. I think it's frankly ridiculous, and nowhere should accessibility options and the optimal version of your game be locked behind there, especially when it is not even. It is just now crossing a year old, like last week,
and that's why I was just like. That's why it was just so weird to me that they announced it and they'd be like, yeah, it'll be out in a month or two, and these are the different price points. I'm like, wait, what the world is this? And I connected it to, sorry to say this, the Arkham Knight DLC. When they were trying to charge you $40 for something you did not know what you was getting. I kind of felt like that with Ghost of Tsushima. I'm like, why are you trying to charge this much money and we don't even know what we're getting? Like, you didn't break anything down on why we're being charged this much.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I hear everything you guys are saying. I love the discussion.
I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer here, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was also under that same mindset. Here's my two takes on this. And I actually said in chat, gamers set themselves up for disappointment and stuff like that. Like I said earlier, like Sony never promised us that all next gen upgrades were going to be free. Sony never promised us that. But also in the same stroke, like when an expectation gets set, we need, like there needs to be some consistency with it, like stuff like that, if you're gonna pick and choose, like I guess you pick and chose correctly with Ghost of Tsushima. It's like your hottest selling title right now. Like you're getting the movie, you're probably getting a Netflix or an Amazon or HBO Plus show out of this crap. You know, after the movie's over, you're probably gonna get. Well, no, you're getting comic books. We already know a graphic novel's coming. We also know there's probably gonna be an anime coming.
There's absolutely a sequel coming to this game too.
Oh yeah, there's absolutely a sequel. Ghost Iki probably would. Iki Island probably was a sequel.
That probably would have been the tutorial area, frankly.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us think that the second one is taking place in mainland Japan.
Yeah.
So it comes down to this at the end of the day. LeRon, I think you're absolutely right. Corporations are not your friends.
True.
At the end, like I scream this on every show I'm on. Corporations are not your friends. Expecting anything from a corporation is a bad move. That being said, you can use your voice, and social media is so great for this, as long as you're not abusing it, to make your displeasure known. I've seen so many people express their contempt for the Ghost of Tsushima stuff, and personally, I'm going to look for whatever version of this will give me simply the DLC. I'm not paying the extra money to get my QOL changes. I will wait. I will play an inferior version of the game to make a point here that I am not okay with that.
And you know what? Some of these Sony would not care, because once they hit that 1 million mark, it's going to be them to them.
But it comes down to anybody complaining. Vote with your wallet. Don't stream about it on a podcast or on social media.
It literally will not matter when those numbers come out and they report it. The same thing happened to Skyward Sword, and it hit number 2 in Europe. It's been hitting records and stuff. And after I'm just saying, after everybody complained about this game and complained about that price point, look at where those numbers hit. And if that same thing can happen to Sony, that's all that matters to Sony. If they can hit the numbers and get that money, it don't matter what you say.
No, it's the business. That's the whole point.
And like I said, like gamers set themselves up for this stuff. That's really what it is, because
they're literally stretching the boundaries to see what they can get away with right now. Because who's to say this is where the buck stops? Like, we're only going to do it on these 2 games. It's going to happen again with The Last of Us next year. I wouldn't be shocked if Factions is exclusive to that, to the re-released version on PS5. It's where do we stop it? Like, we're going to inch a little bit farther each time until people finally get fed up with it.
Yep.
And that's why my argument is, if you don't like it, you take your stand here and you keep to it.
Yeah.
You enjoy the DLC without paying the extra amount.
And you know what? Here's the thing about it. Like, because I feel like for this is gonna sound so bad, but I feel like gamers can be so stupidly like narrow-minded sometimes. We got friends that we can just borrow their PS4 and play the damn game.
It's not even that. I think people who are complaining about this like I said, they're gonna wait till Black Friday. They're gonna buy it. They're gonna buy it. They're gonna wait till the Black Friday sale come on, and they're gonna get that game, and then they're gonna stream it and talk about it. Be like, I got this. I complained about it, but I got this deal for $5.99.
But you know, actually. Wait, I just realized something. Ghost of Tsushima just got its first permanent price drop. It's now $40. Like, I really don't feel like there's much room to complain.
But see, here's where they get you though. It's $40, but if you want the optimal PS5 experience, it's going to be another $30 when Iki Island comes out. You're paying that $70 no matter what.
You're paying the PS5 price.
I bought it for $40 when it went on sale before E3, and I'll tell you right now, they're getting $20 out of me for the DLC and not a dime more. I'm not paying for quality of. I'm going to die on this hill. I don't care if I sound like a brat right now. I am not paying for something that should be for a game that sold 7 million copies to date that I should be getting for free.
I paid the $60 that the game came out along with Paper Mario. And so that's why I'm just like, I don't need to.
You shouldn't have to pay for it either. Nobody should have to pay for better frame rates.
That's the honest fucking truth right there. That's the honest truth.
And I literally told LeRon that if it's the same content and stuff that I've been doing in the main game, I don't care what the quality of life thing is. To me personally, it's going to be a redundancy because I did all of this in the main game. So if you don't offer me anything new, gameplay wise.
Yeah, move on. Don't waste your time.
I'm not gonna do it.
Then it's not for you.
That's why I said.
Yeah.
That's why I said reviews are going to be important. Don't just hop into something.
The reviews aren't the review with the way. Go ahead, Nelly. Oh, I was gonna say, go, Nelly.
I was about to say, some people don't even pay attention to the reviews because they're going to sit there and be like, oh, hey, what are you complaining about? This and that and this and that. But I'm like, that's why I said play it for yourself if you really want to play the game.
Yes. If you want to, yes. But if you are weary, if you got questions, if you want answers, if you like holding back, read a review. Simply read a review for some people. Don't just look at the score. See what you are getting so that you know that when you make that purchase, it was worth it.
Or ask your buddy who played the game.
No, better yet, have a sleepover if you just really want to save money.
Right. Yeah, go halfsies with somebody or something. I don't know. The final word I'm going to say here about this is that number one, as gamers, we just have to be true to ourselves. If we know for sure we're going to buy this game, we can't complain about what's happening with it. We can't. If we know for sure we are not going to buy this game, we need to stick firm to our words. Even if that means this damn thing drops to $10 at Walmart, because at the end of the day, what these companies worry about is the overall sales of the game. And they don't care how they get the sale. They don't care if they get it at $70, for the regular editions, or they don't care if they get it at $10. Every time they get a new number that says, oh, this hit 1 million copies sold, guess what? They win, stuff like that. So gamers just have to be diligent about what they're going to do. And circling back to that Skyward Sword thing, yeah, like gamers were vocal about that thing. And the fact that it debuted at number 2 on the charts, let us know right there, gamers are full of shit.
Can't make everybody happy, pretty much.
Gamers are full of shit. Gamers are full of shit. That's all I'm gonna say.
Just go be in your DMs watching.
You know what? We're about to plug ourselves anyway, so they know where to find me. They know where to find me.
I'm being your DMs like, LeRon, you okay?
Right. There has been times I have jumped into LeRon Studio podcasting with my answers. Would it be?
You know what though? But you know what? I have fun doing this show, guys, and I appreciate every time you people want to come on and be guests, like you and Josh. I love the fact that like Nelly took a hiatus and came back, stuff like that. Austin was ride or die, the entire time, stuff like that.
You don't count right now.
But you know what? We're having fun. I love it. We're talking about games. We're being nerds. We're geeking out and all this stuff. And you know what? We're gonna go ahead and wrap this show up because we've taken up way too much time of everybody's time tonight. So that's our show for tonight. As always, we'd like to give a big thanks for you tuning in to Crossroads PlayStation Podcast. Before we go, here's how you can get connected and stay connected to the crew. Nelly, go first.
All right, you can find me on Twitter at Planet Nelly. Nelly is spelled N3LLIE. You can also find me on Twitch, whenever I'm on, at Bradface_87. And yeah, that's it. No OnlyFans, sorry.
It's coming.
I mean, but
don't get your hopes up.
Gamers are always setting themselves up for disappointment.
Exactly. Ed, plug yourself, man.
You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code. Check out Nintendo Power Block on Mondays at 7:30, 8:30 Eastern. We have to talk about snacks, games, all things Nintendo, and everything else. And we're going to be getting a quiz show together, so hopefully you guys can join us for that. Also, if you guys want to join me on PSN, it's Okamico, OKAMICIA. And I think it's time for me to get ready for my Super C Contra run. So you guys will be able to check that out on my Twitch, which is the lyrical one that you guys will be able to see. No, I'm sorry, at that retro code that you guys will be able to see. Yeah, and thank you, LeRon, for having me. Hopefully you can come back on Power Block and be lead block agent with us again in the future.
Oh yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back on Power Block soon. What?
Eddie has to come on because I want her to become the Black Agent also. I think she's awesome.
All right, Josh, plug yourself, man.
You guys can find me every single Thursday night on Tower Casuals. I post on Friday mornings. Come and listen to me talk all about Destiny. Corey and I are going to talk about some other multiplayer games, though, because, well, we're about to have a 6-month season, and it's going to dry up after like 2 months. You can also find me on Twitter at Josh_Finn, 2 N's. Come listen to me talk about the latest anime that I'm watching, about manga that's making me cry, and, of course, all your favorite video game topics.
Can I do one more plug, LeRon?
Go for it.
The Annapurna Interactive that you guys that we talked about with Solar Ash, I did a write-up for bossrush.net, so you guys can check that out and watch the show there. Check out the notes if you guys care to see everything more from it.
All right, cool. All right, and as usual, you can catch me at Exodus803, EXODUS803. That's my social media. That's my Twitch. That's my YouTube. Did I miss it? Oh, that's my gamer tags. Did I miss anything, Nelly? I think I got everything right.
Yes. YouTube. Yeah.
Yep. Shout out to No OnlyFans. Special shout outs to Lil Chaos 012. Thanks for your tier 1 sub tonight during the stream. Also shout out to the Oracle Dragon for being a wonderful super mod. Like, can't wait to see you back again. Hopefully we'll have some Resident Evil news for you next time you come through. Before you go, I just want you guys to know that there's a lot of interesting stuff going on over at bossrush.net. For example, check out Stoy's recent review of the game Chicory, A Colorful Tale. That's live right now on bossrush.net. The guys over at Arsenal X talk the top 10 Xbox franchises in episode 148 of Arsenal X. And Lamont Reed asks, should you boycott Activision Blizzard in the August 2nd edition of the Boss Rush banner? Speaking of Activision Blizzard, Nelly, get ready, because I think next week we're going to talk about that. And also what we've been seeing in the aftermath of all the news surrounding not only them, but companies like Ubisoft and a couple other high-profile gaming companies that have been doing the dirty to their employees. Ooh. Yeah, but don't stop with any of my recommendations, because there's plenty of other shows and editorials available over at bossrush.net. Remember, that's the new URL for the website, bossrush.net. Crossroads PlayStation Podcast also is calling out. We want you to join the Boss Rush Network Discord, where there's a ton of communities to find if you like to talk about, I don't know, like weird things like, games, food, entertainment that's not games.
Monster Hunter.
Exactly. Monster Hunter. Yeah. Like the moderator for the Monster Hunter board disappeared, didn't he? Says the host of Crossroads, the PlayStation Podcast.
He's on hiatus at this point. He's doing something right.
Don't forget, you can chat with us and keep the conversation going by hitting us up on Twitter at @PS_Crossroads to dish on more news, events, and topics while we're getting ready for the next installment of Crossroads, bringing you the hottest news in PlayStation and gaming, and sometimes Nintendo, and maybe Xbox. The Boss Rush Games family wants you to go out, have a great night, play games, be better, and as always, we'll be back next week. You guys take care. We love you. Have a good night. Be safe out there.
Bye, everybody. Woo-hoo.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.